Hey guys, Zayda's here, and here's my bro.
Hey, I'm at The Real Man Hunt on Twitter and Dukemon22 on YouTube, or it might be Matt Hunt on here as well. I forget. So.
And Pokemon just revealed the new games.
Yeah.
I mean, the titles are already leaked.
Yeah, leaked for a bit. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. A bit of a deviation from other games in the series. For
Yeah.
sure.
We already watched the trailer a couple of times. We're gonna go through it again, bit by bit. Okay, so lower that.
So right from the get-go, showing the show is not a big part of the game itself.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the rumors got it.
Yes, all the bigger, more reliable leaks seem to be pretty much right. I think the game looks amazing. Obviously, it's still one, but
since it's like that interim kind of thing,
yeah,
like in between stuff, that's not a problem.
I think this is them testing what they can do for getting that. It's interesting though, because you would think that they'd have to redo all the maps and stuff.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be like the maps will be somewhat. I mean, there's gotta be something.
I would imagine there's going to be some differences. Yeah.
But the two players.
Yes. Something I think people wanted for a long time. I'm curious when you both catch that Pokemon, if you both catch the Pokemon, it's only like a solo thing on how to get it looks like you're using your own Pokemon though. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Yeah, I'm not sure like when you both swirl, I'm not sure how this
Pokemon controller.
Yeah.
It looks like it's pretty much just Pokemon. Pokemon showing up in the overworld. You don't randomly encounter them anymore. That's a big change.
This Switch is going to start selling out again. Yeah. No question about it.
This is big.
This is going to sell like hotcakes.
Pokemon goes back already. It looks like this was directly trading the Pokemon. It looks like they're putting them in some sort of Mario Kart thing. And maybe by doing something else in the Switch game, you can then catch the Pokemon again.
Or not be a DPS.
What's the riding on an Onyx? I don't know if that's riding on an Onyx or that's Onyx this looks amazing.
No, you're on top.
You're on top of it. You'll probably ride it.
Yeah.
Maybe Onyx might just hope to ride again replacing HM, which is a great idea. Hello, Mewtwo. I mean, Pokemon has been, for the past couple of years, surprising us with not really following any sort of diagram. I mean, I don't know what this is about. So some sort of special event Pokemon on Go. Available November 16th with that Pokeball Plus.
Yeah, so let's
we can
talk about a couple of things.
Go through things again. Yeah, I don't know. So what do you think?
It was great.
I'm excited.
The fall is going to be so freaking crowded. I can't.
We have
Spider-Man in September. Kingdom Hearts 3. That's my big one.
Right.
That's either going to be late October or early November. Could you imagine Kingdom Hearts 3 and this in the same month?
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
I'm just going to say now, if that's the case, Pokemon's going to become a backlog, especially if they're close together.
It's rough.
I'm probably going to need at least 2 weeks to get through Kingdom Hearts 3.
I mean, it could be part of the reason they decided to go with I mean, it's not really a remake because you're not playing as Red, theoretically, right?
It's like
It's a faux sequel reboot thing. It's hard to explain what it is. Especially since this is just the first trailer. So we don't know if there's going to be any new forms. We don't know if there's going to be new areas. I mean, you could see a little bit of. I think that was Cerulean City. I think there was Viridian Forest.
I thought
was in
I
there.
saw. I only played somewhat of Red on the 3DS. I thought I saw like the dock that goes to the boat.
Yeah, that's what that looked like.
I think that's what that was.
So either that was Vermilion City where you get on the St. Anne, or it was Cerulean City before the Nugget Bridge. So it looks really good. It looks different.
I noticed how because in Sun and Moon the characters became more proportional. Now they're going back more to
it's
like
a little,
X and Y had.
It's a little bit. Does look like X and Y.
But that makes sense because they're trying it's like the Gen.
They're
like
trying
to go a bit more exaggerated.
At Gen 1. It's more of like an artistic rendition of things. I don't mind that necessarily because if you're gonna go with the grid again,
do you think because like Gen 8 that's do you think Gen 8 will have the grid, or is this gonna be like, okay, this is like this is part of the next gen, but this is gonna be very similar to old games. So
right. I think this is a halfway point.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be able to.
I feel like Gen 8's gonna be a much more maybe it could be a more open map, and this is kind of like this is more of a stepping stone.
Yeah, I think Gen 8 is gonna be a more open world Pokemon game, like they've talked about in interviews. This does not seem like it's open world much.
And a lot of people are gonna be, I want. Why isn't it Gen 8 now? Listen, you have to understand? Like people want like a map like Breath of the Wild. First of all, I don't think it's gonna be that big. Breath of the Wild's a big game
for Pokemon. That really can't happen. I don't think.
To get any considerable large size map for a region, they need time. And we've been going back and forth with this. I'm like, man, they need time to make a new gen. And this is a good way to buy time for that.
This is a stopgap. This is a way to get a game on the Switch, to get people who maybe haven't played Pokemon in a long time,
especially
played Go, to go and get a Switch. So that's the important thing. If you
and the battle system doesn't look. It's still turn-based.
The battle system's still turn-based. It looks.
There were rumors that it was not going to be, but maybe that's next.
Maybe that's Gen 8. Or maybe you know what? I think the battle system thing is probably not a real rumor. I think they're going to touch it up.
But all the stuff regarding around this.
This was pretty locked. All the stuff that was rumored. Once we knew the
we didn't
titles,
hear a thing about that Pokeball controller. That just came out.
No, the only thing we heard about it was that there was going to be a device between Go and the game, but we didn't hear any specifics. I don't think they would touch the battle system too much.
No, because
at
least not yet, because
competitive players would have a hard time.
And that's like
you couldn't really do competitive play with Pokemon if it had a more open battle.
Because if they ever do change the battle system, it would take until like the next gen for that to sink in.
Right. So I think that'll stay the same. I think they could probably, after this game, make a semi-open world map, and maybe not super deformed looking.
I mean, if you look at Sun and Moon, you kind of see a step in the direction even at that point, because you have different islands.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe each map could be a different part of a region.
Yeah, they could do different, different locations and stuff on maps and that kind of thing. I'm wondering...
one thing that, when I didn't finish Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but one thing that I did notice, there's this part where, like, there's this girl on the terrier dog, and, like, she stops you from going that way. I don't want that. What I would hope for is that trainers scale to your level, and that gyms could scale your level, and maybe you can do those in any order.
Yeah.
You can explore in any order.
If this is really a callback to Generation 1, there should be some, like, flexibility with which gyms you do first.
Because you could kind of do that in Gen 1, right?
Gen 1 for a couple of the gyms. Right. You can do that. So it's going to depend... So if this is going to give us a whole bunch of new mechanics, but the map is not exactly fantastic, I'm okay with that. It doesn't look like you're restricted to grid movement. It just looks like the map is
It's
a grid.
It might just be more stylistic than anything.
Right. I think
like
they're just trying to call back.
you could see like their argument being, oh no, that's just how Kanto looks. That's just the geography, or
right,
whatever.
which could be kind of cool.
Because that's exactly what they would say.
I'm wondering a couple of things because now my brain is going. And questions won't be answered.
It's 10:49 at night. We're like
brain is going.
Brain is dopamine. Everything.
So two questions. You didn't finish Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I'm gonna spoil something for you anyway.
That's fine.
So the end
I think I'm gonna get back to it.
In the end of Sun and Moon, Lily goes off to Kanto.
And
to go and
in
train.
Sun and Moon too. That's the same. It happens.
Well, no. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it's Gladion that goes off to Kanto.
Oh, okay.
So one of the questions, because again, there's two versions, right? There's Eevee and Pikachu.
By the way, I'm getting Eevee.
And I'll be getting Pikachu. We'll probably buy them together if they come together.
Yeah.
My question is Lily going to show up in one game and Gladion in another game? Because that would be really cool. Doing the same thing. Second question, do we get any new forms? Does Pikachu and Eevee get a new Z move, a Mega Evolution, something, some kind of transformation?
They have to add something new to the table.
Yeah.
Especially since you're using two old... Like, obviously Pikachu is the mascot, but Eevee's kind of become that second mascot.
Yeah.
And you gotta do something new with them. Whether it be those... I mean, like that Gorochu we've been seeing.
Yeah, the Gorochu thing... That was weird for them to come out and say for no reason.
Now, something you were actually we were talking about how maybe they could do a kind of Digimon kind of thing where like Eevee can change into his different forms.
Well, in the manga he can do that.
Oh, okay.
I forget which is it. Pokemon. I think it might be Pokemon Adventures. I could be wrong about that.
But that would be a cool mechanic.
There's an Eevee that can evolve and then change back. So,
but I think the only thing is. They need to find a way to balance that because that means you could only do one per turn, kind of like a Mega Evolution.
Right.
But I think it should only last. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the two they could only maintain their form for a couple of turns.
The origin forms.
Yeah, I'm picturing some. I mean, you transform into it during the battle, but it only lasts a few turns.
I could see that.
That would be a good way to balance it, and heck. Maybe give Pikachu his own element forms.
Yeah, but there's so many possibilities.
Maybe make Gorochu like a fire form.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Theoretically, it's gonna play like Yellow.
Right. Which means you might be getting the Kanto starters throughout.
You'd be getting the Kanto starters, so you'd have... I almost want to say that Eevee won't be able to use its regular evolutions because of that then. Because if you think about it, Yellow makes sense because you get Pikachu, he's the mascot of the series, and then you get the other three starters, right?
Right.
So you have fire, grass, water, and electric.
Right.
In Eevee's case, if you pick Eevee, you have a normal Pokemon that you have to evolve theoretically, but maybe they won't have him evolve. So you'd be stuck with a normal starter.
Maybe if you do give Eevee like an actual evolution, maybe when you get that, maybe it's like a normal type, and you lose the ability to turn to the other forms.
Yeah, I because of the way that they presented Pikachu and Eevee in the trailer, I want to say that you can't evolve them normally.
Right.
Because it seems like you're going to be putting costumes on them.
In the trailer, you're fighting Mewtwo and Pikachu is just Pikachu.
Right. Right.
So if they have forms, they de-change.
I would imagine. Back. I mean, that's probably like a cutscene or just something they animated for the trailer. But I would say that they probably won't evolve traditionally.
Right.
I think you'd have to maybe.
I felt like they really should have added that as a mechanic for a while now.
I mean, they have.
With Mega Evolutions, yeah, but I feel like if you implement that, you could. There's a lot more, but I mean that's just my opinion because I think like when you look at the Digimon games, like you can revert back and then follow a different route. Imagine if Pokemon did that, and you could go one evolution route, and then you could go another.
The difference is they're trying Pokemon Evolution and Digimon Evolution. is a different thing. They're trying to that would sort of break the lore of the because they're growing, right?
Yeah, I guess it's.
I guess it's the same.
It's pretty much like it's more like Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Except they all do it. Except for the ones that.
That's exactly what it is. It's Metamorphosis.
It's Metamorphosis that isn't restricted to bugs and amphibians.
It's micro evolution versus macro evolution. Or I might be having that backwards, but one of those.
Well, calling it I'm not going to get into
either way.
I'm not going to get into debate whether it's evolution or not, because I just like the idea.
It's a long dark tunnel.
It's not even worth it.
No, I could see them doing something because every Pokemon game has to have a mechanic. Maybe this
is gonna. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying maybe this gen has something that's like Mega Evolution, but it's not Mega Evolution. And I think we're gonna be spending the rest of this year and next year figuring out if this game is Gen 7 or Gen 8. Because it's not either. Because
let's just say might as well just say it's like a 7.5.
7.5 is probably the easiest way to do it. It depends on what your definition of generation is. Theoretically, and pretty much
usually it's defined by like the new region.
It's new region, new Pokemon
that's usually how the fans define it.
But what's going to be weird is if there's any original Pokemon.
But the thing is, we've never gone to a new system with a sort of remake before.
Right, exactly.
It's always been the new generation
exactly.
for the new system. So this is the first for the franchise.
If new Pokemon show up,
yeah,
that are new Cantonian Pokemon or Cantonian forms of other Pokemon.
What was that? There was like a shark you showed me.
There was the new manga with Satoshi Tajiri's like life story explaining how he created Pokemon.
Right.
Has a couple of beta Pokemon that were revealed.
Yeah, so maybe they could.
The timing. See, I don't think they're going to be in the game, but it gnaws at me because it's such a weird time for that to be revealed.
Yeah, that's
and Gorochu. There was no reason to talk about Gorochu.
There wasn't
at all, really.
Or even like give us like a drawing of what you could say. Oh yeah, that was a thing, but there's nothing for it. But no, here's a picture of it.
Well,
there's a rough idea of what it.
The picture of Gorochu was, I think, fan made, but the pictures of the other ones were like from the original designs. So it's a weird thing to just throw out there at the same time all of this "Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee" stuff was circulating. I could see there being original Pokemon that are sort of going to be retconned into being Gen 1. I don't think that's necessarily a weird thing.
No, because if you say, this was all that ever, like 100, like, I'm going to really say 149 because Mew and Mewtwo don't really count as species. You're going to say, only 149 species existed in an entire region of a world. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if people are going to cling on to that's like limiting the scope of what you're setting is.
That would cut the decks down a lot. It would go back to what it was like 6 years ago. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon had 402, I think is the deck size. So having that and then following that with 151 as your cap, it would kind of be weird.
Because considering they're trying to get old players to come back, if they have like over 800 Pokemon, it's gonna be too overwhelming.
Right.
Because you could there could be completionist people. Like imagine completionist people who haven't played Pokemon for generations. That's gonna be a pain in the hide.
Right.
And that's just gonna. They gotta try and keep it as limited as possible.
What I'm thinking they're gonna do, and I could be wrong, but given the Go integration, here's my thoughts. I don't think you're going to be able to get most of the 800 and some odd Pokemon in the game naturally. Which I'm okay with because when that happens in other games, it sort of weirds me out because I get bothered lore-wise.
Well, there were 3 3DS games.
Right. So my
6, but really 3.
Right.
Sets.
So my thinking is this. I think you're going to have in the story of this game the 150 Pokemon. I think Mew is going to come as an event at some point.
They could do DLC too. This is
DLC.
They could finally. This is like the first generation that can, or series of games that could have
Mew,
DLC.
I think somebody said this. One of the Poketubers said this. I'm forgetting, and I apologize. One of them stated that Mew is now...
Was it Rowlet?
No, I think it might have been Birdkeeper Toby. Either Birdkeeper Toby or PD Winall. I think it was Birdkeeper Toby. In his video today, he was listing like top 10 things that he want to see in these games. Mew is available in Pokemon Go, right? As a really long quest. That the quest is sort of continuous, and it doesn't seem to be running out soon. Allowing me, who stopped playing Go for a while, to actually catch up and do a lot of it. But I could see them having a quest in the Switch games where you port your Mew from your Go into the Switch, and then that activates a story event, is what he was suggesting.
Yeah.
So
now,
like,
one thing you were talking about, actually before this, before we started, you said that and I thought this made sense, that the Pokemon that you transfer into the game from Go, you can't use for combat.
It looks like
because then you just like put because then you just have too many.
It looks like you can,
or at the very least, you can't use them until maybe post game or late game.
It looks like you're putting them into some kind of a park or Pokepelago. My thought would be you can put them in there, probably activate them in your decks. Not as caught, but just as activated, like just to see where their location is in the game, theoretically. And then maybe by doing certain actions, you can get them to take a liking to you, like the Pokemon in Pokepelago, and then they'll possibly join your party or allow you to catch them in the main game. Which I think is fine. So what I think is, for the non-Gen 1 Pokemon, Pokebank is gonna show up in a couple of months after this game is done.
Oh yeah, they're gonna add that.
So you can, if you're like me and you've caught all the Pokemon already,
I bet they'll actually I bet in this, because like they have better hardware to work with, they might just have it in the game, kind of like, I mean, like obviously microtransactions suck, but maybe like in the game you'll have like in the main menu you'll be able to go to that and you'll just be in the game.
I would be fine with that. It's $5. It's $5.
It would be fine as a separate app.
It's $5 a year.
Yeah, it's a very like to keep them stored in the bank. Well, I guess it couldn't go on the game. It'd be a separate app.
Yeah, I mean, like, we haven't seen yet. It could be like a.
But maybe you could access it from the game once you installed.
I think that's all.
To a different.
I think that's all people want, is to not have to
go out of the game, go into this.
Especially for trading, it's very annoying.
It's very redundant.
No, I could see that. A couple months, they could. I mean, they already did that with Celebi in Sun and Moon. I think it was Sun and Moon. Maybe it was X and Y. But they could do like a Pokebank limited Pokemon giveaway. Maybe that'll be Mew. And they'll just kind of, if you sign up for the Pokemon Bank, or if you download Pokemon Bank and you're already subscribed to the Pokemon Bank, you will get this Pokemon.
I think that was X and Y, because I remember Mew being Sun and Moon.
Mew's Z Crystal you got as Sun and Moon for the bank. You didn't get Mew himself. Mew himself came from the.
Let's get this out of the way. Even if it has a bit of life left, the 3DS is done, right? It's done.
The 3DS is done.
In terms of Pokemon, once Pokemon moves on, that's it.
It's done, but I think,
at least from a first-party perspective,
I think Game Freak is done with Pokemon games in the 3DS.
I mean, yeah, they've had 3 sets of games on that. I think isn't that more than I think the DS had, right?
DS only had black and white, and
it was just Gen 4 and Gen 5.
Gen 4 and Gen 5.
Yeah, so 3DS has had the most games.
For sure. I think Game Freak is done with the 3DS. I don't think Pokemon is done with the 3DS.
Oh no, I'm just talking about like the core stuff.
The
I'm sure
core stuff.
There's gonna be a good few side games.
I heard a couple rumors today that there's gonna be a side game out.
Right. Yeah.
Soon for the 3DS.
What was it, like one of those dungeon?
A mystery dungeon or a Pokemon Ranger, one of those like side story things. But that could be another way to get like a Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
a new Pokemon.
I just remembered. What do you bet they have a Snap mini game in this?
I think it's fairly likely with all the
because in Sun and Moon they did have that little feature. Imagine if they just have a full-on mini game.
That'd be cool.
Maybe they could add to like the Safari.
That'd be cool. I just have so many questions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to know how the co-op
The fall
works.
is gonna be crowded.
Yeah.
And like E3 is gonna be crazy. We're streaming E3 actually.
Yes. We will be streaming.
You're still on the not sure whether you're gonna be here.
I will be here for certain things, definitely.
Right. He's definitely gonna be here for the Sony.
Yeah.
He'll also be here for like the EA, Microsoft.
Right.
And like I think Bethesda. You saw something about Bethesda.
Bethesda was teasing something today. I'm not sure what they're up to.
I'm not. Because we've actually seen like a lot of the they're actually showing off stuff before E3.
Yeah.
Square showed off Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts. We have to do an entire like. I would love to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, and we saw Deadpool 2 yesterday. I'd love to talk about things. We've got to do those as separate things because I want Pokemon to be the focus of this one.
We'll talk. We'll talk later.
Definitely. But yeah, E3 is gonna. This is gonna be the first year we're doing E3.
Crowded.
Yeah, because especially on, you're definitely gonna be here for because you'll be home before the Sony one starts.
Sony one will be here.
Yeah, so EA is the 9th, Microsoft and Bethesda is the 10th, and then Square Enix, Ubisoft, and Sony is on the 11th, and Nintendo's on the 12th. You're gonna not be able to be here for the one with the game.
Yeah, that's good.
You're not gonna be here for the Nintendo one now. Oh my god.
I need money to buy the game, so.
Well, yes, that's true.
It's
You need money to buy all these games.
We're talking like
we're
$500.
Like we always buy specific titles. We have Spider-Man. And of course mine of course. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's the big one for me. And we have 2 Pokemon games we have to buy. And that's all in the span of fall.
Right. It's gonna be rough.
The only saving grace is that the semester I have is just one class and a capstone, and it's not a full semester, so I'll actually have time. So aside from the amount of games, I'll at least have time on my hands to play them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god,
it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be like 2018 is one of the best years in all of gaming.
It's a year for video games.
2017 was like Breath of the Wild. Absolutely deserved. I was kissing my copy of that game when I saw one Game of the Year.
I guess Definitely. I guess I have now. I can go
and once you buy a Switch, all the games that you use my copies.
Oh, that's an interesting question. How do you think they're gonna block people from multiple save files?
Well, there's accounts, so
right.
They'll probably do it that way. I'm interested to see how if the multiplayer, like when you go as a player too, do you connect accounts?
I have to assume, right?
Yeah, because I feel like if you were just
before we go, let's go over things one more time.
Yeah,
and sort of piece through it very slowly. You don't have to play; you just go through
I'll mute it and.
Okay, so obviously Pokemon Go is happening, right? We're showing that.
Let me know when to pause.
Yeah, I'll take pause. Right, showing that you can kind of take Pikachu with you into the world, and then you can kind of come home after walking and I guess getting experience or getting relationship boosts, and you put them into the game. You pause right here. So that you can take it back a couple frames. I just want to go frame by frame and really examine things before we go. You can take it back to the first frame. And just keep pausing it. Even back more. Yeah. So play and pause. Yeah, pause right there. So that's obviously you getting your Pikachu. That looks like to me. So some people were saying, and this rumor obviously is wrong from this picture, I think. Some people were saying that you pick your starters normally, like you would in Red and Blue. And
but
then you
but how could you do that if it's a yellow remake?
Right, and also
you get your starters.
And also they're kind of doing the thing they did in Sun and Moon, where you're sort of like bonding with the Pokemon you pick. So I think it's gonna work exactly like Yellow.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like get to the almost like in the anime. You're gonna get there like Yellow was. You're gonna get there too late, and that's gonna be your starter. Okay, you can just kind of move to the next frame, I guess, and let's see. Yeah, because that's probably Professor Oak's lab. It looks like. Right. Okay. Pause. That's okay. This is,
I have to get more. I have to get batteries from a mouse.
This doesn't. Yeah, it's not any good. So that's.
That looks like Palatown.
It's got to be Palatown. That's probably Professor Oak's lab.
Like, of course, they have to have their own language.
Right. Oh well, that's. Yeah, I'm not sure what language that is.
Doesn't look like
that's probably Professor Oak's lab. So go ahead.
Yeah.
That
must be like
Route 1, I guess.
Yeah, because I guess maybe that's right where you get out of.
Yep. Pikachu's on your shoulder.
And it's leaning. He's leaning.
It's leaning. He looks like he's looking at you. That's really cool.
That's well, because they have better hardware. You're going from like pretty much PS2 levels to like above PS3 levels.
The backpack looks like the Go backpack. Okay, stop. So we have a Pokemon Center. That could be Viridian City. It could be. It could be any city, really. It's got like an Asian flair, so maybe it's what's the city? Fuchsia City, maybe? It could be Fuchsia City.
Yeah.
Alright, new Pokemon game. So that's you picking Eevee. That's Viridian Forest, probably. That
looks like the dock where you get onto the boat.
Yes.
That's got to be what that is.
So that's got to be...
Unless the map is totally different from...
No, because see on the posts, it's got like the boat things?
Yeah.
That's what it is. So that's Vermilion City.
And that's why I figured that's what it was.
That's cool. Those are all things if you pick in the Pikachu.
And you have a single Joy-Con to control it.
Right.
Now, we don't see anything about using the Pro Controller, so there's no reason it wouldn't work.
The rumors said that you could turn off the Pokemon Go function.
It's like a mini game, and it's probably going to work like this. You do it. If you succeed, you get it. If you don't, you have to fight it. That's how I assume.
Well, no, I think so. That's what I think the misconception is. I don't think you can just throw the Pokeball. I think you have to fight it first, and then what's going to happen is you'll get a prompt to enter the minigame, and you can say yes or no. That's my thoughts. Or there's going to be a thing in the menu that lets you turn on and off that minigame function for the entire game.
But that's the case. That means there has to be a benefit to doing it. Because if not, then it just feels pointless.
Correct. But I think you got to fight.
If it's not that, it's probably what I'm thinking. Like just where you do it, you fail, you have to fight it.
That could be too.
I mean, personally, that's how I would do it.
That could be too.
That's how I would do it because that makes sense.
It's definitely a different screen than a
which
fight
you could
screen.
Also then decline to do and just go to the fight.
Right. It's definitely a different screen than the fight screen. So, Mankey, Bellsprout, Staryu, right? So you share. Now this is just interesting. So it looks I'm sure.
What I do notice is that there's no Pokemon on the shoulder right now, so it's hard to tell. Like, if it could either just be a random player two, or when you set the accounts up, it'll be your character.
It could be, yeah.
Because again, they're working with better hardware, so let's throw convention out of the window when it comes to.
Doesn't really say one thing or the other. So.
That's the thing I'm most curious about. We've got to find a way to stream. We have to find a way to stream.
Yeah, this is Mount Moon.
Yeah.
See, but look, see that? Go back.
Get ready.
Right. So player 2 can only throw the Pokeball or use items.
Right.
So that's interesting. So it's not this. So you're kind of a helper.
Right. Because you can't share a single thing.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
But you are fighting together.
Yes.
Interesting. I'd love to see more about that for sure.
It looks like you click with the top part as the button.
It's really cool.
Because you can't just control with a joystick.
It's really cool. So you see, like, if you go back, just the Pokemon walking around. I'll tell you when to pause.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
So we have Eradicate.
No more random encounters, which is good because having to sit. I think Game Explain brought this point of having to like sit around, and go from random encounters, wasting time. It's a big time saver, and it makes the game less grindy.
Yeah.
Obviously, leveling up is probably that's still a thing because the JRPG, but at least you don't have to wait and see what the Pokemon is
so
run away, rinse and repeat.
So let's analyze this here because we got. So you still get the.
It says. Oh, they have CP.
They have CP.
Yes.
Okay.
They have CP.
So that's interesting.
But it is level 13.
Right.
So it's not just the turn. CP is probably health and attack, but the level is probably.
That makes sense though because if Go has to interface.
Yeah, having a value that matches.
You need that. So let's look at this here. So get ready.
But you can also the Pokeball as a counter.
Right. So you probably got to do it. I don't know if that's the number of Pokeballs you have or the time that you have.
But this is a lot of people were like, oh, but that's gonna. No, it's good because that's less having to go through the menus. You see how much Pokeballs you have, and you throw them. That's it.
Yeah.
All you have to do. Imagine. Oh, I just realized. Imagine if they sell different ones and you can get a Master Ball.
Oh, I would buy all of them and it'd be a money pit. It'd be a money pit. Oh, can we pause those Pokedex entries because it might tell us something a little bit about what's going on here. I'm so excited.
I know you should be.
Okay, wait, pause it. So Pokedex number
56.
56. It has the regular Pokedex stuff there. It says how many you caught.
2.
Record. Does it say record of catches?
Record of catches.
So I guess it sort of puts.
So I guess maybe the biggest one you
caught. Yeah. An agile Pokemon lives in trees. Angers easily will not. Right. And what does it say on there? Change. Something. Switch Pokemon. Select
Switch language.
That's cool.
Check motion. So to make sure the motion's working.
Interesting. Oh, I thought it just meant check. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it says switch language, which means you can switch the language whenever you want instead of having to. Which is a much better idea.
I think I'm sitting in my phone. Oh no, I got it. Okay. So let's see what that. I can't see what that says.
I got it. Save your progress. Take your Pokemon for a stroll. Back to your adventure.
Okay, so that's cool. So that means that you, from the save screen, you either save. You can put your Pokemon on the Pokewalker, the Pokeball Plus, or you can just kind of quit. So that's very different from the main menu of the 3DS games.
Yeah, it would always be all your little options. So they're trying to simplify the menus, which is good because now they're going from 2 screens to 1 screen.
Right.
And if you have to put too much information, it's just going to be
it's going
to be the opposite of what is that game called? Dead Space, where you have where the AI is just it would be a mess.
And
you got to keep it simple.
And you can see there that the girl has.
They're not gonna make they wouldn't go as far to make an accessory of a second screen.
Right.
Or maybe I'm speaking too soon.
We'll see. I don't think they will. that's the animation for putting the Pokemon in the
and it actually makes the sounds.
in this troll.
This thing is probably going to be at least as expensive as the Pro Controller.
Right now,
maybe more.
My question is, I thought I saw it say like 4,500 yen in the Japanese version trailer. So that's going to be about $40-$50.
Oh, okay. That's actually cheaper than the Pro Controller.
My question from this is, so we hear Pikachu in the trailer and in the Pokemon Plus. We hear Eevee, and we hear Psyduck. Psyduck and Pikachu were the only Pokemon, I think, in Sun and Moon that said their names. So are we going to hear all the Pokemon say their names?
Possibly, because they have more advanced hardware.
Because that would be cool.
They have enough room to put those in there.
Because it looks like you can put any Pokemon in there. So.
Because it'd be awkward to just have those three make sounds, but the others not.
They're definitely not going to make the sprite sounds anymore. That's for sure. If they're going to make sounds...
No, they could only get away with that because like the 3DS was like limited hardware. Right. They can't get away with that now.
So that's really cool.
Shaking it makes sound effects.
Yeah, I guess you probably get some...
And, being able to put... Again,
right.
You're probably not going to be able to use those in combat.
Let's examine, though, right? So, it's a Go Park.
Sending Pokemon. You brought your to-go park.
Right, so that's it's like a different thing.
Right.
So continue. Pause it. Right,
that's
so
Zapdos.
That's a Zapdos.
Two of the same. That actually supports that.
Right.
Because you're putting, like, duplicates.
Right, go ahead.
There's an Abra, maybe?
I don't know.
That looks... Unless that's a... No, that looks like an Abra. Or a Kadabra.
Yeah, continue.
Send a present to Pokemon Go.
Right. So that was in the rumors too, that you can get prizes for connecting the accounts. So that'll be fun. So let's get your Magmar. Yeah, let's go.
That looks like
that's the leaked image.
That's the leaked image.
That's pretty cool. But I will say, so let's see. That's riding on. So Charizard's gonna be flying.
This means you can fly over the map,
which is cool. Charizard will be flying.
There's a
Ponyta.
Yep. That might be Team Rocket's lair.
That's Team Rocket's lair, or that I forget which part of you go in under the subway with all the Grimers in Gen 1.
It's other thing. It's also gonna be weird seeing this all look the way it does now.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing it maybe Fire Red and Leaf Green will make it less jarring.
Right.
As a comparison.
So obviously they're using the walking animations that have been in the 3DS for a while for Pokemon. That's whatchamacallit.
That was that's the tower. That's the cemetery.
The tower, yeah.
Being able to change their clothes.
Right. So that's what makes me believe that they wouldn't be able to evolve permanently.
Yeah, because that's a mechanic.
You would ruin that mechanic.
But that should also mean you're able to customize your character.
Because
it'd be weird to be able to customize them and not your character.
I think you would be. Maybe not as much as Sun and Moon. Because if you're able to customize them, that might be where the customization comes in.
Again, though, they're working with better hardware.
Yeah, so it's possible. So that sort of confirms...
The animations of when the fights start definitely imitate.
Yeah, that's inside Rocket's lair.
Yeah, it is. It does actually. I actually do remember that.
Yeah.
With all the desks and the bookcases.
It's cool. It's Swift. Hyper Beam. I don't know what attack that is for Magikarp. Cerulean Cave. So from this trailer, I don't see anything that is like new, but it's also
the footage.
Oh wait, yeah, the high quality. This I'm not sure what this is. Does it say you'll need a special Pokemon? I'm not sure if they're saying when you send a gift over to Go, every time it's a different special Pokemon, or if there's a special Pokemon.
The ironic thing is, you may actually have to jump on this first because it's gonna sell out first.
Yeah.
This is gonna sell out. This is probably gonna, maybe if not as much, possibly gonna become scalped even more than the NES Classic or the SN.
I would love for them to put up a combo pack of the Switch, the Pokeball Plus, and
I love
the covers are great.
I like that they're nice and simple.
I like that Pikachu's fat again. Make Pikachu fat again. He's not supposed to be skinny. He's supposed to be cute. They're fluffy. Look at him. Let me tell you, this whole Project Eevee thing has been the greatest troll of all time. They started this last November 21st.
I think Square Enix are the ultimate trolls.
They are.
They're the ultimate trolls.
They are. But they started this Twitter November 21st of last year. That's almost a full year. No. Yeah, almost a full year.
This is so close to your birthday, too.
I know. Well, November 21st, which is my birthday, is Eevee Day. That's when they started the Twitter, was my birthday last year.
Right.
And people thought, oh, it's just like a thing that they're doing. But no, it was for this. They were planning this for a while. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably going to go pre-order this now.
Yeah.
What can you do? Any final thoughts? Anything we haven't talked about?
Anything we haven't talked about regarding this?
Do you think, because it looks like, not that we're locked. Like, I think once you get Bank in there, or even Pokemon Go, because Pokemon Go has Gen 2 and Gen 3 right now. I think those Pokemon will show up if you put them in there.
Yeah, that's actually another reason why I don't think the Pokemon Go could be used in combat. Because if you could have Pokemon Go, what would you need the bank for?
True.
Because you could just straight put those in.
True.
That would ruin the whole point.
Well, no, the bank is more, because remember, people breed Pokemon too. So the bank is like if you have Pokemon that you've bred and you want to carry over those characteristics and IVs and that kind of thing.
I thought so. I think the trailer kind of showed this. There's probably going to be like an equivalent to Ami, right? Like from X and Y.
I would think so.
Because like the motion controls, they're going to put that in.
That might. Well, see, it's a weird thing though because you have the park, the Go Park, right? Which is probably a lot of the Pokemon Ami, Pokepelago stuff happens there. But then I think the Pokeball Plus is also going to do some of that stuff. Because that'll be like you taking your Pokemon and raising the friendship level, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure what. I would like them to have the option from Ami where you can like heal the status ailments by caring for the Pokemon versus using items. I thought that was cool. I don't know. I don't know where the that is a whole other thing.
I think this will be the last thing we talk about. I'm very interested to see, because there's no doubt in my mind this is going to be like the bulk of E3 for Nintendo. There's going to be at least a third of their presentation.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum.
Yeah, this will be a significant.
So I'm wondering like what they're gonna show specifically. Are they gonna show the beginning? Are they gonna show a specific section?
The weird thing is though, they at least, and it might just be because they were covering up the fact that this existed.
Yeah.
Their Treehouse, which is where they do like the game like playthroughs.
I think they did Sun and Moon a couple years ago at the Treehouse. So that sounds likely. Because you also have to consider
they said
the demo,
only 3DS games.
The demo game, because Metroid Prime 4 is definitely gonna have also be one of the big presents.
They'll probably do a trailer.
They're gonna probably have like a big demo.
I don't know how far along Smash is gonna be the main.
That's what I think. That's actually what they're.
But here's the question.
They're having a whole big thing for that.
Here's the question: how many trailers at E3? Not even just Nintendo. How many trailers at E3 do you think end with somebody going into Smash Brothers?
I think a lot.
Because I could see them doing a special trailer for E3.
HMK talked to like this guy from Disney when he went to the premiere event.
The Disney,
and he was
Japan guy.
He was asking and the guy asked him, would you be okay with Sora being in Smash? And he went, yeah.
Yeah.
Please, Square Enix. Please.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
We're I think tomorrow, sometime this week, I want to do I think the next video we'll talk about our thoughts on the Kingdom Hearts 3 premiere event, and we'll also in the second half we'll talk about our thoughts on Deadpool 2. I think that could make it good, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we'll do so definitely stay tuned to that. E3 is shaping up to be great. This is great.
This was amazing.
This was great.
I'm very excited. I've played.
He's played all of them.
Pretty much. You know what? I've not played Gen 4.
I wonder what Ray thinks. He's gonna be flipping. He's probably when he wakes up tomorrow. He's gonna be flipping out.
I'm waiting for that Gen 4 remake. So that's what we have to look forward to.
Everyone's gonna be flipping out too.
Yeah. Here's the from what we're looking at rumor wise, from what I've seen. This year is Gen 1 sort of remake, sort of sequel kind of thing. Next year is going to be Gen 8, so that's going to be its own... we're going to hear about that in March, probably. It's a new gen. That's not that far away.
Yeah, so, 2017, that was Nintendo's year. This year is, it's looking like it's... Mainly it's going to be, third party in general.
This year is
there's so much.
This year there's a lot. It's mostly Sony for me.
There's so even games even the games that the big games that we're not necessarily interested, like Red Dead Redemption 2's coming out.
Right,
in
that's
October.
big.
That's a big thing. I definitely think if Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in October, it's gonna. Even if at the very bare minimum, it's gonna compete with that. No question in my mind, Kingdom Hearts 3.
They're different.
They're different, yeah, definitely. But if people think that Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to make the sales of Kingdom Hearts 3 suffer, you don't understand how long people wait for Kingdom Hearts 3.
No,
but let's talk about all that tomorrow.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess pre-order your copies of Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get the Pokeball, you have to pre-order that. That's got to be your priority. That's got to be your priority because they're going to scalp that. They're going to scalp that.
I like buying physical copies of games, but worst case scenario, you could at least
it's going to be downloadable. But you're going to need to have
But the Pokemon Plus
it's definitely going to be
downloadable.
easier. It's definitely going to be easier to get a micro SD card for the Switch than pre-ordering a copy.
Right.
Because you could once.
Right. I'm going to pre-order the games tonight. I assume they're up already because the trailer's been out.
Right.
In the mini event. Oh, we haven't even checked. So we might do a little bit of a. Maybe tomorrow we can follow up a little bit on this too.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about
because there's
because
I'm sure some stuff got mentioned at the actual media event in Japan.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll do a follow up. We'll go right into our thoughts on the Kingdom Hearts 3 premium event, and then we'll talk about Deadpool 2.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, pre-order your stuff.
All right. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
Later.